I had a fantastic weekend and got to see some college friends from a long time ago, and we just hung out and had a great time. Um, and it's something we do every year. And in this age, we were also very careful to be respect each other's distance and wear masks when we were outside and all that sort of stuff. But it got me to thinking about adventures and wonderful things and tall tales. And that's why today I've chosen And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street by Dr. Seuss. This is one of my all-time favorite Dr. Seuss books. Now, this was one of my kids, so it's a coloring and activity book. So some of the pages might have been hand-colored instead of professionally colored, but the story's still there. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. When I leave home to walk to school, Dad always says to me, "Marco, keep your eyelids up and see what you can see." But when I tell him where I've been and what I think I've seen, he looks at me sternly, says, "Your eyesight's much too keen. Stop telling such outlandish tales. Stop turning minnows into whales." Now, what can I say when I get home today? All the long way to school and all the way back, I've looked and I've looked and I've kept careful track, but all that I've noticed, except my own feet, was a horse and a wagon on Mulberry Street. Whoops, skipped a page. That's nothing to tell of. That won't do, of course, just a broken down wagon that's drawn by a horse. That can't be my story. That's only a start. I'll say that a zebra was pulling the cart. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Yes, a zebra is fine, but I think it's a shame, such a marvelous beast with a cart that's so tame. The story would really be better to hear if the driver I saw were a charioteer. A golden blue chariot's something to meet, rumbling like thunder down Mulberry Street. Hold on a minute. There's something wrong. Oop, again, I skipped a page. These pages like to stick together. No, that won't do. No, it won't do at all. A zebra's too small. A reindeer's better. He's fast and he's fleet. And he'll look mighty smart on old Mulberry Street. I should be a little more careful turning the pages. Hold on a minute. There's something wrong. A reindeer hates the way it feels to pull a thing that's run on wheels. He'd be much happier instead if he could pull a fancy sled. A reindeer and a sleigh? Say anyone could think of that. Jack or Fred or Joe or Nat. Say even Jane could think of that. But it isn't too late to make one little change. A sleigh and an elephant. There's something strange. I'll pick one with plenty of power and size, a blue one with plenty of fun in his eyes, and then, just to give him a little more tone, have a Raja with rubies perched high on a throne. Say that makes a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But I don't know now. It still doesn't seem right. An elephant pulling a thing that's so light would whip around in the air like a kite. But he'd look simply grand with a great big brass band. A band that's so good should have someone to hear it, but it's going so fast that it's hard to keep near it. I'll put on a trailer. I know they won't mind if a man sits and listens while hitched from behind. But now, is it fair? Is it fair what I've done? I'll bet all those wagons weigh more than a ton. That's really too heavy a load for one beast. I'll give him some helpers. He needs two at least. But now what worries me is this. Mulberry Street runs into Bliss. Unless there's something I can fix up, there'll be an awful traffic mix-up. It takes police to do the trick, to guide them through when traffic's thick. It takes police to do the trick. They'll never crash now. They'll race at top speed with Sergeant Mulvaney himself in the lead. Oh my goodness. The mayor is there and he thinks that it's grand as he raises his hat. And they dash by the stand. There's the mayor. The mayor is there. And the aldermen, too, all waving big banners of red, white, and blue. And that is a story that no one can beat when I say that I saw it on Mulberry Street. Oh my goodness, can you imagine if all that came down your street? With a roar of its motor, an airplane appears and dumps out confetti, and everyone cheers. And that is a story, and that makes a story that's really not bad, but it still could be better. Suppose that I add a Chinese man who eats with sticks, a big magician doing tricks, a 10-foot beard that needs a comb. No time for more, I'm almost home. I swung round the corner and dashed through the gate. I ran up the steps and I felt simply great, for I had a story that no one could beat, and to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. But Dad said quite calmly, just draw up your stool and tell me the sights on the way home from school. There was so much to tell, I just couldn't begin. Dad looked at me sharply and pulled at his chin. He frowned at me sternly from there in his seat. Was there nothing to look at? No people to greet? Did nothing excite you or make your heart beat? Nothing, I said, growing red as a beet, but a plain horse and wagon on Mulberry Street. That's the end of this book. And the rest of them are activities. The rest of the pages in this book are colorings and games you can play based on the characters that were in the book. And I love that story. And to think that I saw it on Mulberry Street. So on this gorgeous fall day, I've already been out for my walk this morning, and the air is crisp and the leaves are just starting to change here in Western Pennsylvania, and the birds are flying south and the animals are gathering food for the winter. Let's delve into our imaginations and see what we can come up with. Maybe make a fairy garden for fall. just a little tiny pot with things for little fairies to live in. A little house made of an acorn shell. Or you could make a hat out of an acorn shell if you have oak trees nearby, or coloring leaves and pressing them between wax paper. It's a good day to go out and see the really cool things on your street. So this week, story time every day at 10 a.m. And I'll be back with Winnie the Pooh this Friday for sure. We are going to start the house at Pooh Corner. And then on Saturday, sing along with Miss Julie and Miss Kristen at 11 o'clock Saturday. And watch for news about our next show coming up called Miss Electricity. It's a super great show. And look at our scroll. We actually changed some words. There's some new information there about how you can support Mariposa Theater for young audiences. We can't wait to be with you in person again. And we would be thrilled if you're interested to offer you classes online as well. Just drop us a line. Hey, look, there it is, new information. So with that, I'll see you Friday, but we'll see you here 10 o'clock every